Hello again, folks, and welcome back to Let's Play Pathfinder Kingmaker. I'm your Game Master Darius. I actually did a little bit of off-screen talking to Oleg and just selling some of the random-ass shit. I think I keep on holding on to the breastplate, thinking to myself, oh yeah, that'd be excellent for another character to wield. But then I remember she's already got chainmail. I don't remember chainmail being... Actually, she might be better with the chainmail. Or better with the breastplate, simply by virtue of less armor check penalty and theoretically in the future higher max dexterity. You can't, as far as I know. Yeah, you're proficient with light, not heavy, and you've already got banded mail, which is better theoretically. Because if I remember correctly, that also reduces speed significantly, like... No? Hold up. Yeah, okay. It does reduce your speed dramatically, but... You know, gotta have someone with, higher AC than the rest of the party. Anyways, last we left off, we had explored that wonderful, wonderful tree. It was a time. And, demoralized, there we go. And it was a time. That's pretty much all I got. And now we can go off and explore once more. Oh wait. Wait. We have a new character, Tristan. We should talk to him. See what he's about. Tristan smiles at you as you approach. Greetings, how may this humble chosen of this great serene ray help you? Tell me about yourself. About myself? I want to know where to begin. He pauses for a moment in thought. You know my name, my faith, I follow Serene Ray, and I've traveled with the Padisha Empire of Kalesh to here. What else do you want to know? Forgive me, but your manners and appearance don't strike me as Kaleshite. He smiles softly. You have nothing to apologize for. Truly, I have received my name and appearance from my parents, who had come from Kalesh from afar. I never knew them, for the fate had separated us when I was young, so I grew up in Kalesh, raised by the followers of Serene Ray. My home is where my heart is, within the temples of the great goddess, among the wise and generous men that took upon themselves the care of a child that was so unlike them. I learned mercy and patience at an early age, and it is these virtues that have made me the man I am today. You enjoy traveling? Oh yes, no library or no archive, however large, would have ever allowed me to learn as much of the world as I have in my journeys. It was only outside the temple walls I realized every living being in this world unto themselves, a world where many contradictions and passions coexist. Each realm leaves its mark on the lives that live there. Only by visiting it, by breathing the same air, walking on the same soil, can you understand its people, what drives them, what frightens them, their dreams, and how they honor their gods. Doesn't being outside the temple make you uncomfortable? There are many ways to honor one's gods. Tormund Lienson, I can't read anymore. It is true shrines play a role in the lives of many of the faithful, but even more find other ways to serve Serene Ray. The healing light values good deeds above all else. I cannot stand by and watch evil claim others. He thinks for a moment, then raises an eyebrow. Perhaps that is another reason why I chose to go on my pilgrimage, leaving behind the temples of Kalesh. He touches his chest. My faith is in my heart and in my hands. Millions honor Serene Ray in her temples, and my soul is filled with joy when I think of their devotion to the goddess. Nevertheless, my path is a different one. Do you know where you're going next? No, my thoughts were far from it, for my mission here is not done yet. He stares at you in surprise. Why do you ask? Do you wish me to leave your lands? To the contrary, I hope you will stay with me as long as you can. The thought of you leaving is not a welcome one. Actually, wait. Nah, more of this one. Of course not. You're my comrade at arms. Trust you completely. Thank you. I am pleased I could be of assistance. Tell me about Serene Ray. Serene Ray is the goddess of temperance and patience. Solar Flame goddess teaches us compassion of the weary and mercy to those who go astray. What would you like to know of her? History of your faith. There's much to tell. but I'm afraid I would miss the mark, and I fear I would bore you. Is there something specific? How did Serenray come to be? Serenray is one of Golarian's eldest deities. Once she was an angel that had gathered the armies of her celestial allies behind her. The battle in which she showed her valor decided the fate of the whole world, and in her victory she was rewarded with divinity. In the sacred texts, Serenray is shown as a beautiful, bronze-skinned maiden, her hair dancing flame. But her appearance is not what matters. It is the grace she brings with her touch, healing and salvation. About this battle you mentioned, what was the act of valor of Serenray? Her greatest moment of glory is her battle against the monstrous Rovagog, who threatened to destroy Golarion. Serenray delivered the strike that staggered the horrendous creature and allowed her allies to shackle it. Once the rough beast was captured, the goddess split the earth and the gods threw the behemoth into the depths. Once it was done, the goddess sealed the pit and commanded her faithfuls to stay away from the scar that was left in the land. He falls silent for a few moments. Alas, mortal beings are imperfect. Not even the most faithful among us can always follow their deities' commandments, even when such commandments are meant to save the world and their followers. I, for one, pray the goddess is never again as furious as she was with Gormaz. Ah, yes, Gormaz. You mentioned Gormaz. What happened to it? The error of faith, perhaps a lesson, but it speaks of the danger when one listens to mortal words and one stops listening to their faith. Serenray forbade her followers from coming near the place of Rovagog's imprisonment, but some of her priesthood misread her will and began to preach of a sacred place where the mightiest of temples dedicated to the goddess were to be constructed. The people listened to these sermons and went forth to the lands touched by Serenray's scimitar. On the scar that sealed the well, they founded Gormaz, a holy city that was to become the greatest monument to Serenray. Unsurprisingly, after the city was built, faithful from all Golarion traveled there to worship. Serenray sent omens and visions, urging followers to leave this place filled with the dark will of the shackled Rovagog, but in their pride the people misinterpreted or ignored her signs altogether, for they had already come under Rovagog's influence. Finally, the goddess sent her herald to the city, but the fanatics killed him. Realizing the people had turned on from her, the enraged goddess smote Gormaz, raising it from the face of Golarion with a single strike of her scimitar. He shakes his head. Today it is called the Pit of Gormaz, a well of pain and suffering. About the pit. It is a great crevice in eastern Kazmarin. The lands surrounding it are dead, soaked in poison. The Pit of Gormaz seems bottomless until someone dares to gaze into its depths. All who have dared tell of a strange, distant glow, a glow that followed them in the dreams ever since. Throughout all of history, the Pit of Gormaz has spawned creatures, hideous beasts of overwhelming power and driven by only a single desire to destroy everything they see. Some were defeated, such as the nightmarish Ulanat, whose carapace to this day towers above the capital of Osirian. Others proved too strong to be defeated by mortal hands. The most terrible of them of all was the Tartuccio, the Armageddon engine, who to this day lies dormant deep beneath Avestan. Have wars ever been waged in Serenray's name? Alas, yes. Terrible battles were once fought between the followers of Nethys, Norgrimmar, and Serenray in the lands known now as Rahadum. To my shame, I must admit that this conflict was started by my brothers and sisters. They came to a foreign land to make way for their goddess's light with sword and fire. That calamity became known as the Oath Wars, a catastrophe that led the inheritors of Rahadun to deny all gods, banning all faiths from their land. Alas, the mortal vessel is imperfect, and even a pure faith may be distorted by blind ambition, and great suffering may occur in its name. What are the teachings of Serenray? Solar Flare Goddess, the light of salvation, even to those who have been forsaken by the other gods. She teaches us mercy and forgiveness, for as long as they may be useful to the soul's salvation. Are there any undeserving of mercy? Tristan blindly gazes past you to a distance for several moments. When he speaks again, his voice is quiet, reflective, as if echoing his thoughts. Undeserving of mercy, would even Serenray herself find the compassion to? He shudders, as if awakening from a trance. Forgive me, your words. They are not easy ones to reconcile, and even priests such as I, we debate them to this day. What is the point at which the soul is irredeemable, or is it a failing of the priests themselves? These are difficult questions you ask, Tormund. Questions wise men have debated for centuries. Does a being that has been tainted by evil to its very roots, that rejects its own salvation, still deserve compassion? Can those compelled to do evil by others still seek forgiveness? There's no easy answers on these issues among Serene Ray's followers. As for me, I believe that every soul carries a potential for goodness within them. No matter the crime, the guilty may find forgiveness if they repent and cast off the evil that led to the deed. I believe this with all my heart, Tormund. See, this is definitely one of those places where Tormund does see good in people. It's just that there's only so much patience he has for trying to bring it out of people. In the case of the tabletop game he was in, Kressel was unabashedly an evil bitch. I do like this idea, even though following through with it demands a lot of spiritual strength. It does, and yet I think you are equal to the task, Tormund. No, I am certain of it, and one needn't worship Serene Ray to practice mercy. All are capable of it. What are your duties as a follower to Serene Ray? My goddess strives to see the best, even in the dark gods. She never abandons the hope of their redemption. The priests of Serene Ray follow her teachings, akin to the healing light herself, who emits warmth and heeds the call of those in need. We aid the suffering in body and spirit throughout Golarion. The priests of Serene Ray are willing to help anyone, no matter the faith of the one in need. Each plea must be heard. Every misfortune serves compassion. Be it a peasant seeking a blessing from a harvest, or a murderer seeking repentance the night before their execution. Sometimes the mercy of Solar Flame Goddess is the last thing that can save one's soul from ruination. We have no right to withhold it from the truly repentant. Make it sound like the followers of Serene Ray will try to find good even in a bandit with a knife to their throat. Do not mistake compassion for weakness, Tormund. One hand of Serene Ray is shrouded in healing light, the other holds a scimitar. Following their goddess, the priests learn to wield this weapon starting in childhood. They do not hesitate to use it if a dispute cannot be settled peacefully. She preaches mercy, yet her compassion is not infinite. We give a second chance to all who ask, but if they reject it, if they persist in their sins, they will face the goddess's retribution. How is she worshipped? Many worship the Solar Flare Goddess in her temples. Some make a pilgrimage to the Everlight Oasis, but even those who do not serve the goddess directly rarely shun the festivities dedicated to her, the Sunrot Festival, for one. What are their temples like? Serene Ray shrines are often open to the sky and to the goddess's life-bringing sunlight. Her light fills the temple and shrouds the parish in warmth and grants its blessing to all in need. In Kalesh, crowds gather during the services so that all may feel the blessing of the goddess. The most ingenious devices are constructed by some of the faithful to please the goddess. I've seen a temple of Serene Ray which houses a complicated array of mirrors, all to direct the light of the sun to the altar. Tell me of the Everlight Oasis. I've never been there, but the stories say it is a wondrous place, sacred to Serene Ray's faithful. The oasis is located in Zel Shabar, which lies in Kazmarin. Pilgrims from all throughout Golarion travel there, seeking the goddess's blessing. According to legend, the waters of the Everlight Oasis are imbued with healing properties, and anyone who bathes in them shall be cured of any ailment. He smiles in thought. Just imagine, a place where people from all over the world come to gather to worship. What stories they must share. What is this Sunrot Festival? The Sunrot Festival takes place on the day of the summer solstice, when the prayers of the flock can reach Serene Ray the easiest. On this day, Kalesh blooms with color. In each corner of the Padishah Empire, the people praise their goddess by dancing and singing, setting off fireworks and flying kites. I hope this beautiful custom shall one day reach your lands as well, Tormund. I've heard enough. But what brought you to these lands? I've heard rumors. They say these lands are cursed, and the curses are growing stronger, as if something is granting them power. I could not ignore such rumors. What curses do you speak of? Do you not see? Every word uttered in the heat of an argument turns into a prophecy here, just waiting to fulfill itself. And if it were only for the people, the land itself is seething with curses so ancient their origins are impossible to trace. Take the abandoned temple of Aristil where we met. What happened to it? What force compelled the priests to leave such a magnificent temple behind to the whims of nature? Will we ever know? I myself was nearly slain by beasts. Fortunately, you came along, following Jod, and saved me. I owe you a great debt. You've come a great distance indeed. When you look at it that way, then yes. But please, do not think that I came all the way from Kalesh because of mere curiosity. I was wondering long before that. It is a custom of our faith. The farther our paths take us, the more people we may help. Why did Jod see you in his premonition? Serene Ray sees all the good gods and goddesses as their allies. Many have fought alongside the goddess against the menace of Rovagog, Aristil among them. By offering my prayer to Serene Ray, I let her know my misfortune in the Temple of the Elk. The merciful goddess did not ignore my plea, but whom could have she asked for aid than Aristil, whose faith is strong in these lands? Aristil had set Jod a sign, and you came just in time to rescue me. To tell the truth, I am certain my journey was at an end, and those creatures were to be the death of me. You have spent much time here. What do you think the future holds for these lands? These are cruel lands. As I came here, I bore witness to much pain and suffering, but I have seen equal kindness among those seeking to protect themselves and their loved ones. The people of the stolen lands are resolute and true to themselves. I admire their strength. Alas, I do not know yet what powers the curses that flourish in this land, but I swear I will not leave until I have the answer and the means to cleanse them. You must forgive me for not swearing on Serene Ray's name, but as of late, I have troubled the goddess too much as it is, and I would better serve her through action, not prayer. You've called yourself chosen to Serene Ray. What do you mean by that? Sorry, this was a mere jest. Other acolytes at the temple used to tease me with that title. This should tell you how pious and devoted I was compared to them. And yet my faith is strong. Serene Ray knows this and protects me in times of great peril. If something ever threatens my life, by her divine powers, I am transported to a safe location. I should go. A pleasure. He is a devout individual. I'm so glad that you weren't chopping around as we were trying to discuss things. Told you, as for Giants, tell the others someday. Okay. I think that she still needs some time to talk later on. Oh yeah, Jod, we never finished our conversation.
How may I serve you?
Tell me about the visions that led you to the temple.
That's why I'm here.
Okay.
As you wish.
About yourself?
What exactly would you like to know?
Tell me about your past.
My story? Why not? You deserve to know it. I am a priest of Erastil, and Galt is my homeland. You can imagine what it's like following the teachings of the stag god in a realm torn by discord and strife. Rebellion and suspicion are the pillars of Galt. Led by Erastil, I tried to guide my flock to embrace tranquility and balance and guard them from hasty judgment, until I fell from grace myself. Foolish old Jod. My misdeeds cast a shadow over my life and service. In search of redemption and a balm for my soul, I took to the road. I had come nearly to despair when Erastil sent me a vision of the Temple of the Elk. I knew that very moment that the stag god had shown me the way to redemption.
What did you do to anger Erastil?
Well, if you truly wish to know, I'll have to start from the long time back. Werewolves preyed upon the lands around my village. They murdered people for fun or sport and left the corpses to rot on the roads. One night, they broke into a young woman's house and dragged her into the streets. One evening, a traveler came to our tavern, tattered and dirty from days on the road like so many others roaming Galt. He sat quietly in the corner of the tavern, drinking cheap ale, and in an instant, I knew he was a werewolf. I felt it in my soul. It was like Erastil himself had whispered it into my ear. Led by Providence, I left to gather my flock, and we surrounded the tavern. The retribution was swift. However, I was tragically mistaken. The young man was no werewolf. He was a bandit, sent to spy on the village by one of the local gangs. We only found out after, when we went through his things.
Still, you saved the village from another danger, did you not?
That's still no excuse for my actions. I was a fool. I made a grave mistake. And what's worse, in the eyes of my flock, I cast doubt on Erastil's greatness. A priest who can barely hear the voice of his god is a disgrace to his lord and himself, and corrupts the very people he would save. Whatever the case, I knew Erastil was no longer pleased with me. It was terrifying.
Jaw's voice wavers. Even now, one can glimpse inside him the remnants of the horror he lived through.
Imagine how my mind raced when here in the stolen lands I heard the voice of the stag god once again. He gave me another chance at service to atone for my guilt. Now I have regained hope, and that very hope is my most precious possession.
Can you tell me about your homeland, Galt?
For some, it is a land of freedom, where power belongs to the people, not to lords or kings. For others, it's a land of never-ending revolution, a realm surrendered to anarchy. It depends on who you ask. For me, I found Galt a violent place. Crowds eager to lynch a stranger for that accent or appearance, where a single word uttered at the wrong time or place can spark the people to riot and cities to burn. For me, it is a place inhabited by the frightened and the desperate, always suspicious, watchful of trickery. All too often they are deaf to the voice of reason. They cannot grasp that chaos and lawlessness lead only to yet more chaos and lawlessness. All my life I've tried to break through to these poor people, but alas, I don't seem to have made much progress.
That's enough for
As
now.
you wish.
Tell me about Erastil.
Of course. It would be my pleasure. Erastil is one of the eldest gods of Golarion. His faith emerged when the first people appeared upon the land. Erastil helped our ancestors cultivate the land and hunt. Even now, his blessing lies with those who uphold the old traditions and keep to simpler ways, far from civilization and the noise of the city.
What does Erastil demand of his
The
faithful?
word demand does not befit the stag god. Honesty and friendship, loving families, merry weddings, and newborn children in their mother's arms, they bring a smile to Erastil's face. He loves his people and rewards them with fortunate hunts and plentiful harvests. But he has no temper for sloth and vanity. He never bestows gifts upon his faithful without first measuring their worthiness. We ourselves must win our daily bread, but the stag god comes to our aid in times of need and strife.
Wait a minute. Cities have their strengths as well, don't they? Civilization fosters science, trade, invention. And in that, it often improves life for us all.
Tell that to the peasant robbed of all he owns, spending his night in the gutter, hoping to live to see the sunrise. You won't see such things in a village.
I mean, yeah, you will. But okay. I mean, everywhere has a potential of being a place of evil and wrongdoing, let's be honest. I mean, I honestly see no point in arguing.
As you say,
I have always had a respect for Erastil and his priests.
I see it more clearly every day. Erastil himself led me to meet you. Your keen spirit will serve you well.
To each their own. Wanted to ask you something else.
Happy to help.
Thank you for the story. We may speak more later. Alright. Now we're out of here, I think. Could probably see about talking to people. I kind of... don't need all that. Actually, wait. let us deposit some of this stuff. Out of sheer virtue of it's heavy. Because now we actually got some exploring we can do, theoretically speaking. I've explored a lot of the forest. I wonder if I shouldn't explore more of the plains field area. Well, I say explore, I mean more akin to I've discovered. Never been. Already been there. New events. Oh, the ancient tomb? What do you mean this path is on? Oh. Okay. Gnome. I thought I'd been to the ancient tomb. A mound with a small burrow inside. The stolen lands are rich with traces of long-gone settlements and the ruins of ancient civilizations. Almost every year, an accidental landslide exposes a door to an ancient tomb or the foundation of some destroyed temple. This location is a prime example of this. Well, let's go explore it. Ancient tombs? Totally not going to be filled with undead. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes. Oh. Just straight up an ancient tomb. Alright. Ooh. Money. Here's our Tartuccio. He's had minions. Adorable. I probably could have had someone go be all like, hey, suck it. Anyways. Move up a little bit, Tristian. Oh, enlarged person. I know that spell well. It is useful. Yar. Man, imagine you cast a spell on someone thinking, yeah, they're gonna kill really, really well. Only for that person to get immediately turned into chunks. Wow, you are a little bit tanky. Move up a little bit. Shoot that one. Now, do I go? Really don't have anything to cast with you. That was a miraculous miss. Now you perish. Good shit. Amiri, see if you can kill this one. There we go. Valerie, put this one out of its misery. At least they died laughing. Woo! +1 longsword. Hell yeah. I'll collect the rest of the stuff as we come out of here, but still. Scorched fragment of a necklace. Because yeah, that's like 100 additional pounds. Alright. +1 longsword. That is definitely going to you then. Because that is not only an increase in attack, but also the damage. Image carved in the stone was almost completely worn away from over the ages. One can still distinguish a sickle, a sword, and a skull with a single eye socket covered with a coin. Fascinating. It seemed from afar to be but cracks in the stone, but turns out to be a faded image of the sun. A grinning jackal skull has recently been scratched on the top of the image. Judging by the outline, this is a bas relief once depicting the sun and moon. Now it's completely eroded. On closer inspection, can discern the outline of a head with a single eye.
It is done.
See, I don't like the idea of that being a jackal skull. Why not, Dar? Because that might. Oh no, that's a hyena. Isn't it a hyena? Hello. Follow Tartuccio's trail, of course. Okay, Cyclops coin. Memento of times long past. Well-grounded antiquities collector might pay handsomely. Follow Tartuccio. Got it. Hello, traps.
It's just not my lucky day.
Apparently. Base relief, the sun, long eroded. Vague outlines of 4 strange creatures have been carved over it. So a desecrated temple of sorts. The jackal head might be Lamashtu that I'm thinking about. Okay. How sweet, the first breath of fresh air after the stale, damp stuffiness of that tomb. That tomb was like 3 rooms. Before us stretched an unending heath, replete with hills and gullies and patches of low shrubs. Already the trail Tartuccio and his companions had gone cold. I really need someone with more lore nature. But we could not give up so easily. Whether the trail went cold or not was one we had to follow. Nice. No blade of grass was bent. Must have had enough time to straighten back up since whoever last passed through. But the heath's dry earth preserved the prints of little shoes. Our eyes to the ground, we followed the trail. We walked and walked until finally we came to a huge gully, a dried up bed of a river of yore. But what is this? At the edge, the grass was trampled down and the soil churned up, and claw prints, lots of them. We stumbled upon a fresh battlefield. And here the trail split. One set of footprints walked away from the battle and down to the gully. The brave footprints that faced down their enemies followed the path along the edge. Any traces of magic? We discovered traces of magic, apparently from the Illusion School of Magic, near where the lonely trail descended into the gully. Yep, looks like we're gonna follow that gully. Carefully I'm not sure what the difference here. Might as well try to imagine who or what left those claw marks. Claw marks were not deep. The attackers were small and lean. And more, these creatures walked on 2 legs. Finally, the form of prints left no doubt in our minds. We stumbled into Kobold lands. Fun. Oh yeah, brave footprints. Follow the path along its edge. Down into the gully. After idling a thought, decided to follow the bigger trail along the path beside the gully. Let's do the one that snaked along the gully. Examine it. Frequently used in its dust, we saw both sets of footprints together. It was clear that those who had no claws left the battle surrounded by those who did. The prisoners. Alright. Follow the single set. The way down was steep and it took some time to reach the bottom. Walking on the loose soil was difficult, but the clawed footsteps were easy to spot. The bottom of the gully went downwards, deeper and deeper. Finally, the footprints turned, whirled up the steep slope, and disappeared at the gully's edge. We couldn't but admire the animal agility and clever claws of the creature who were following. The slope before us was as tall as 2 tall men and ended at a hanging crest. Climbing such a slope would be no easier than climbing a sheer wall. However, a long, steady-looking root stuck out from the ground from the top. Well, Lindsay, time to be a little bit of a hero. There was one brave hero among us who decided to try his luck and climb to the root. Tja, freaking -8. Yes. After tugging the root, Lindsay took a deep breath, grabbed it with both hands, and began the difficult ascent. Pushing with her feet against the slope and grabbing the root with both her hands, she climbed higher and higher. Only her heavy breathing and the faint creaking of the root broke the deadly silence. Suddenly, dust poured down from the top of the slope and a root began to slide from the ground. Keeping her wits, Lindsay shifted her weight to her legs and froze. After a tense moment, she continued her journey and soon had reached the top of the slope. After catching her breath, she lay on the ground and offered her hand to help the next of us up. After climbing out of the gully one by one, we easily found the clawed footprints again and moved forward. The air grew tense. We sensed that we were approaching our target, and our intuition proved correct. Kobolds! Although that is rather impressive of Lindsay. Not necessarily the... oh hey, level ups. Not necessarily the climbing part, as it was the pulling everyone else up the side there. Alright. Might as well go through one by one. The cleric is getting a level up. See, now it get... Oh, right, because he's human. That's what it is. Humans get a skill point every other level? Yes. I guess increase your lore of religion. And now we get more feats for you. Selective channeling is tempting. This makes it so... Oh, Jesus. This makes it so as you do not affect a certain amount of creatures when you go to channel energy. Let's see. Whenever you channel positive energy to heal the living or channel negative energy, you do not affect enemies. That's tempting simply because that is... Yes. Well, we're going to take selective channeling. Bonus of +2, bonus of +2. Yeah. Complete. And then our resident barbarian buddy. Oh, she's an invulnerable ranger. Or ranger, rather, not ranger. So she's going to get extreme endurance now, which grants her fire and cold resistance, which goes up every 3 levels. It's partially annoying to think of giving her the lore. I don't think I shall. Instead, we're going to up your athletics and perception. Alright. More than likely, we could just give her weapon focus. It's tempting. Bull rush. Attempts to push an enemy. Nah. Cleave is pretty good. If you hit, you deal damage normally, can make an additional attack against a foe that is adjacent to the previous foe. If you kill someone... Oh no, that's right. Pathfinder improved Cleave, where you didn't need to slay a foe, you just needed to damage him. We're gonna have you take Cleave. Lindsay. Continue your bardisms. Now you get Inspire Competence, which now grants +2 competence bonus. Oh no. +2 competence bonus on skill checks. Okay, need to remember. Inspire... Wait, what? Okay, courage is different from competence. Remember that. Let's actually give you the lore skills. Having someone being able to know shit is nice. I would probably increase knowledge arcana. Actually, have you increase your arcana. Use a magic device is also important for her, as she's going to be casting lots of spells. Excuse me. Arcane Strike. Imbue your weapons. For 1 round, your weapon deals 1 damage and are treated as magic for the purposes of overcoming damage reduction. That's pretty neat. Honestly, lingering performance. This makes it so as bardic performance continues for 2 rounds after ceasing using it. Yes. So basically, she can continue to do it after it has gone away. Let's see. Do we just... Oh yeah, we do learn 1 new spell. Haze Flare Burst, maybe? How much damage does this do? Oh no. That's right. This makes it so as... Wait, cantrip. Guess cantrip. No, that's level 1. I'm kind of confused as to why some of this is labeled still where it is. Let's have you learn sleep. Sleep is decent. You just need to know creatures' hit dice before you go casting it on something. Alright, and you are still going to be a vindictive bastard. And at this level you learn Die Hard for free, basically increasing how hard it is to kill her. And a teamwork feat, which actually gives use to her solo tactics ability. Imagine that. Alright, so world persuasion. Loading. Precise shot, no. We could look into more teamwork feats. This one is specifically combat maneuver defense. Dirty trick. I really need to remember to use dirty trick some more. +2 on athletics checks and saves against fatigue and exhaustion. That might actually be a good idea to use for her and Tormund. Yeah, let's take endurance. Now we get teamwork feats. Typically, both characters that are involved with the teamwork feat have to have the teamwork feat. But with her solo tactics ability, she can use, well, the teamwork feat without having to do so. Immune to swarm attacks. Tandem trip. Whenever you attempt a trip, you roll twice, take the better results. Not bad. When you are adjacent to one or more allies who have this feat, +1 saving throws for each ally. I think distracting charge. When your ally with this feat uses the charge action, you gain a +2 bonus on the next attack against the target of that charge. Yes. And she does a lot of charging in anyways, so. And now Tormund. We're going to continue going Untamed Barbarian. Now we get Feral Appearance, which is +1 on Intimidate checks. Which, you know, now that I remember that demoralizing is a thing, we can actually do that. And now I need to try to remember... Was it a persuasion? Hold up. Tormund.
We should move.
Persuasion for intimidation. Got it. So yeah. Persuasion. Perception. A little bit of athletics. Gonna be burly dude. And I think I said that I should probably take endurance. +1 or +2 on athletics checks and fortitude saves against fatigue and exhaustion, which is pretty good. Or it could take an extra rage power. I would still, yeah. I still kind of want to deal the thing, but Animal Fury just seems like such a waste to do if I wanted to. Oh shit, I should have taken back to back. Damn. Blind Fight's actually pretty good. I wouldn't lose my dexterity to AC against an invisible attacker. And they wouldn't get the +2. Cleave is tempting, but I think I might go with endurance like I said I was going to. But because that is having the additional +2 on athletics checks will be nice. Now the question is, oh yeah, breastplate. I keep on forgetting that that's applied as well. Oh well. How about everyone joins me in following Tartuccio and the whole kobold? Oh, that's a lot of them.
Listen to me. A dragon, huge, sparkling, flew down to me from the sky and told me a secret. A great relic that will win the kobold's glory is hidden somewhere nearby. Enough of this pitiful existence. Search for it. Search and bring it to me.
Their leader speaks in a suspiciously familiar voice of the gnome Tartuccio. Dragon, glory, dragon! The voice of the kobolds rise in excitement. We know the mites under the old sycamore. They possess the magic treasure. Very ancient? Oh, probably ancient. Got it. Stop deceiving these poor reptiles, Tartuccio.
You silly jester! I knew you would come, and I've prepared an ambush for you!
Uh-huh. Oh, hard difficulty. Y'all gonna just charge at us, huh? Well, Tristan... Probably, actually... Mage armor yourself first, because you suddenly dying would suck. I'll remember what spells do what. Alright, let's look at these guys, shall we? We have the Sentinels, level 2 fighters, small, 14 hit points. It's a shame. Oh, did Tartuccio already run away? Bitch. Ah, well. Yeah, I guess it was the ambush, so... Can't say I'm terribly surprised. Also, apparently the words I had said were stupid. Oh, there's actually not a whole lot of them. A little bit of divide and conquer, I guess. Valerie.
Let us strike as one.
The next time that I have an option to give this girl something to increase her speed, I'm giving it to her. Oh, dude actually hit me. Not what I meant to cast, but okay. That would still move a lot. Deal with the Sentinel. And shoot. You foolish fool.
We can do it.
You dead foolish fool. Wow, that was one hell of a bad opportunity you gave yourself, buddy. Well, let's see. Tartuccio, now in the guise of a kobold, has disappeared. All we know is that he's searching for a certain artifact or relic in the vicinity of the old sycamore. That means our road leads there too. While he fought the bloodthirsty beasts at the temple, Tartuccio might have found his artifact or done something else insidious. Ah, so because I took my time to find the temple, he might have found his relic. Understandable, however, wasn't exactly our biggest of worries at the moment. There's an imprint on the ground near the empty chest. It looks like another chest of the same size recently sat by this one. Food. More food. Yeah, so the things you decide to do in whatever order do kind of affect what the hell happens. Oh, hello. Ah, 10 bottles of port. Let's see. Oh, hey. Hidden shit. Another coin. I'm sure that there's going to be a point to these coins eventually. It wouldn't make them so enticing, I guess, for lack of a better word. Loading. Alright, so we know he's heading towards the old sycamore. Apparently, that's to be our destination too, if we wish to follow him. Not just yet. Let's do a quick rest.
You pray
And
to
we're
your
gonna
goddess
counter.
with such devotion.
Okay. Random
Make an
encounters.
epic pose. I need inspiration.
Bandits, of course. You know what? Let them approach us. You fool. Well, alright then. Just missed entirely. I'm sure they know what they're doing. I'm sure I know what I'm doing. There we go. Alright, now go over and bop him in the face. Go into this one. Well then. No actions left to use this ability. What do you mean no actions left to use this ability? Curse you.
Serves you right.
And let's see about ending this. Oh, free stuff. Cool. Anyways, let's continue our rest.
Most
Done.
nobles are noble only in words, but you have a noble heart.
Thank you. Truth be told, the false nobleness you mean was precisely what I ran away from. To some place where people are tested by their deeds, not by their words.
I do love those little interactions. Main cook spoiled the hearty meal. No. Ah, well. Oh. Tristan approaches you and makes a gesture to attract your attention. Tormund, before we set off, I need to give you something. You've come to my rescue when I was preparing to meet the goddess. Accept my gratitude and this. He takes a few potions from the bag and hands them to you. There are only a few, but they will surely be useful to you in your journey through the stolen lands. Ooh, potions of restoration. He folds his hand and smiles at you. I'm glad that I met you. If you need advice or help, I'll be around. Thank you, Tristan. This is a precious gift. I'm happy to help you. Well, I won't waste any more of your time. He nods to you and looks away. Neat. Free potions. Admittedly, the neutral evil response probably would have been something that, who was it I was playing this as? That's right, Darius the Beast. I was thinking Wrath of the Righteous for a bit. Where it would have been like, wow, been holding out on us, huh? I entered the location, but it's coming to an end of an episode. So unless there's a drastic encounter that suddenly happens, exactly as I enter this place. Like, I don't know, direwolves, troll, something akin to that. Oh, yeah, an encounter.
Greetings.
Kestin Geras, the former commander of Jarmandi Aldori's personal guards, nods to you, as though you've seen each other in Restov only yesterday. He limps noticeably, and his clothes are stained with blood. It looks every bit as grim and focused as when you met him. But this time you also send a bit hint of excitement in his
I
eyes.
have urgent news from Restov. The investigation that I have conducted at Lady Jamande's orders have proved your innocence. Tartuccio was and still is the Pataxian spy.
Shocker.
That dreadful night, it was him who had opened the gate and let the assassins in. It appears that he had planned to gain the barony and Eldori's support, only to later place these lands under the command of his true patron. King Uravetti is no stranger to intrigue, and likes to use others to do his dirty work. Anyway, Lady Jamande sends her apologies. We almost had Tartuccio cornered when this damned mist fell. First we entirely lost our way, and then stumbled right into a bandit ambush. My people can barely stand, so I would be grateful if you would help us capture this Tartuccio. He must be somewhere nearby. Bring that scum to Oleg's trading post, dead or alive. The Sword Lords will remember this favor.
How did Tartuccio manage to fool you?
That sly bastard has caused us no little trouble, that's for sure. When he showed up in Restov and announced he was going to join the expedition, nobody suspected a thing. Yes, a gnome, yes, a sorcerer, but so what? Even after that terrible night, some of my people were willing to bet money on you being the spy. His overconfidence was his downfall. Tartuccio's henchmen, it seems, imagined they could safely meet with Pataxian spies in the town's seedy underbelly. But Restov is the ancestral home of the Eldori, and Lady Jamande is respected not only by the aristocracy and the common folk, but also by those on the other side of the law. We received a message from the slums. A good friend, who wished to remain anonymous, suggested the Sword Lords take a closer look at a certain guest from Patax. Jamande immediately sent for me and ordered me to capture the spy, all very quietly, of course. He told us everything, and not only about Tartuccio. I doubt that Iravetti was pleased to hear of his agent's failure.
What can Pataxian spies hope to find in the stolen lands?
Pataxian spies are much like magpies. They'll grab anything that catches their eye. Information, treasure, artifacts. This time, King Iravetti had a chance to seize the entire stolen lands region, and at the Eldori's expense. I'll give you some advice for the future. Be wary of the Pataxian king. He's truly a snake of a man.
Garess is the name. This seems like an out of nowhere question. Garess is the name of a noble house in Brevoy, is it not? You're a noble then?
Used to be. It's only a name now, nothing more. The House Garess are a noble family in Brevoy. They own several mines in the Galushkin Mountains. My father Evan is cousin to Lord Howland Garess, but he's my father no longer. In any case, I brought shame upon my name and was punished accordingly. The family disowned me. I fled to Restov and took up the life of a simple mercenary, until I received an assignment here in the Stolen Lands.
I feel like asking this would be a little bit weird in this exact situation of, hey, go capture this gnome for us, will you? But alright, can you tell me why you were exiled? You asked me a favor, so you owed me an explanation.
Fair enough. For a Garess, the prosperity of the house and the honor of the name stands above all else, and I was betrothed to a widow from another noble house. This union was of great importance to the family. However, 3 months before the wedding, I met a commoner girl, gentle and pure, and we fell in love. I would have rather died than leave my Tanya, so I decided to break off the engagement with my noble bride. I could never have expected what would follow.
Damn.
My father was furious. I'd set a pointless love affair above the interests of the house. He expelled me from the family and ordered to leave our lands under threat of death. And Tanya, her mother was seriously ill, and she stayed behind to care for her rather than follow me into exile. Thus, I was on my own, disgraced, without a name, and without love. Don't imagine that I ask for pity. Everyone gets what they deserve.
Honestly, I'd say you deserved a better fate, Keston. True love should not have been punished.
What's done is done.
Would know more of House Garess in your homelands.
Well then, ask away.
Again, I feel like all this would be better asked, back at the homestead, but okay. Tell me of the lands you grew up in.
House Garess owns a number of valleys and gorges in the Galushkin Mountains. The landscape makes these places easily defensible, and they're rich in ores and everything else the depths of the earth have to offer. It is a place of rare beauty. When I moved to Restov, I couldn't get used to it for a long time. There was nothing but sky between the roofs. No mountain peaks anywhere in sight.
What of House Garess?
It is an old and renowned family, one of the most influential in Brevoy. A long time ago, the Garess house entered a pact with the dwarven clan of Golka. This proved to be of great benefit to both parties, and they've supplied the ore for our forges ever since. Lord Howland even took the son of the dwarven leader as his ward. Who would have known where this would lead? The same winter that Brevoy lost the Rogarvia dynasty, Howland's only natural son, Bren, went missing in the mountains. Thus, Toval Golka, the Lord's dwarven ward, became heir to House Garess. The lad has it tough, though. Too many believed Howland should have chosen someone of his own blood to be the heir. I would imagine my own father had similar plans for me, but we all know how that went.
Let's finish this conversation some other
As you
time.
wish.
I've got a gnome to catch. Woo! Delivered Tartuccio to Keston, dead or alive. As it turns out, our rival isn't quite so simple, and by that I mean he's even more insidious than expected. Keston Garask, Jamandi Aldori's envoy, informs us that Tartuccio is in fact a spy from the Kingdom of Patax. We need to find him immediately and deliver him to Keston, dead or alive. Cool. This is just shooting me back to the last time I was playing this. Yes. 07 indeed. But I'm gonna go ahead, call an episode here. When we return, we have to pursue a certain gnome and see what the hell nefariousness he was up to. Thank you everyone so very much for watching. I hope you're all enjoying this series as much as I've been enjoying playing it, and as always, hope to see you all in the next video. Take care. Cheers.